Okay, so I am starting on the exterior just to the right of the main entrance of the, the school. Going to go to the southernmost end and enter through that way, and then we'll make our way through the interior of the school to the extent that it's safe to do so. Go through here. I'm not the only visitor to the school today. Seems to be a bit more of an attraction, given that we're no longer in the deep freeze. So this is the main corridor looking north to the north end of the school. You can see the roofing and structure are mostly blown out. Steel, rebar, and other material kind of just hanging loose. And we'll turn right here and go up the staircase. This is the same set of stairs that I went up last time. I was in Kharkiv, and I believe it is the only staircase that takes you up to what is the third level, the top level of the school. So we'll be careful going up, but we'll choose this side because it's what I'm somewhat familiar with from my first visit here weeks ago when I was in Kharkiv the first time during the deep freeze. I'll try to keep my commentary to more of a minimum this time, but a lot of the damage here is very much self-explanatory if you've been following the war in Ukraine or are familiar with intense conventional fires, generally speaking. You take a look at the blast holes here, shrapnel markings, lots of damage that the building took while in the attempts to clean out the Russian forces who were holed up inside here. See the same girls out there. Coming up now to the second floor of the school. I wish I would have known what the original layout was at the school so I know exactly what I'm looking at. But actually this might be the, I'm actually not sure. Top floor, maybe second to top floor. But over across the way we can definitely tell whether there may be some classrooms or some kind of office, because there's the radiator heater near what was the wall. Also got to be careful here because there's plenty of holes that expose the holes punched through the cement of the stairs here. At a similar loss for words as I was the first time here. Just guess I could be more articulate, but it's just it's breathtaking to absorb it all. So now we're looking so this is probably not the top floor that I was confused about previously. The floor we just came up from, which would be the 3rd floor, I believe, that would have been the top floor of the school. And this probably provide some kind of roof access for building maintenance and other installations atop the roof of the school. See some mangled sheet metal and steel there. Crazy stuff, but important to capture. So we'll go ahead and descend, go back the way we came, and then continue north through the main corridor so that you all can get a view of the rest of the school. But this is a dual language school, so on my Substack I posted a selection of photos, which I didn't inadvertently delete. And the banner atop the front entrance of School 134, where we are, it has Ukrainian and German. So I believe this was a Ukrainian and German dual language specialized school. On the rideshare apps, Bolt and Uklon here in Ukraine, it is called Specialized School 134, whereas in other Apple Maps, Google Maps, Uber, it's listed as Kharkiv School 134. Not that it matters that much, but it does give a higher probability that this was a special school that wasn't targeted by the Russians, but was a site of refuge for a last stand that was made by the elements of the 2nd Spetsnaz Brigade, I believe, while they were resisting a counterattack from Ukrainian regular and irregular forces who ended up taking back this area. I'd rather have the camera pointed up more of the time, but I also want to make sure I watch my step, not least because with my first time around when I came to this school, we'll go up these stairs too. My first time around when I came to School 134, Kharkiv was in the deep freeze, and so I had to be careful about losing my footing and slipping and falling. But the snow and ice was pretty solid, so now I just need to make sure I don't inadvertently step onto a weak sheet of ice and gives way into some kind of uneven ground or steep puddle of water or something like that. This is not going to take us up as high as before. It's only going to go up to the 3rd level, so right now we're on the 2nd level. which makes me more confident that the previous staircase, the highest level, was roof access. So 3 floors would have made up the school. Again, you can see more radiators, older style heating that would have helped climate control inside the building. Yeah. See some water piping up top there. I didn't think I'd have the chance to come back here, but I'm really glad that I ended up getting to do so. Really important for me to capture this and not lose it. Interesting. Window frames hanging out, shattered windows. So now coming up to the northernmost end of the school where we'll exit. and then give a brief walk around the back before I head off back to the city. But now turning around, this is looking through directly from where we came, where we started, toward the southernmost end of the school. So, and here's where we are currently, Kharkiv. Imagine that was hanging up on a classroom wall. Wonder if this is filled with asbestos. Probably. Should probably not do that. Looks like asbestos. Asbestos tiles. Look at that. So now we've exited the interior of the school through to the rear, and then we'll circle back. We'll walk the length of the school and then circle back around front. Actually, see if I can get up these stairs here. Okay, so it looks like here's the gym, former gym of the school. Must have been a basketball court. Backboard and rim. And then over here you still have the netting, part of the netting attached to this rim here. But also damage is visible here. Not a single window intact. It's an interesting find. Looking south to the south end once again. Same view, just one level up. Fresh graffiti. Yeah, this, so long as this site stays as it is, this will forever remain a relic and a legacy of the Russian mentality, or the Kremlin mentality, rather, of genuinely believing they would just walk in here being Kharkiv and Ukraine more broadly, and have their way while meeting very minimal resistance from Ukrainian people and Ukrainian forces. So that's that. I'm not gonna go down there, but seems to be a cellar. So that's a wrap, folks. I'm glad I got to come back and give some of this first-person insight as to what war does, conventional war, conventional fires do to civilian infrastructure that was never meant to withstand such fighting. More to come.